Don't forget, join us on the 14th, Friday the 14th of November. We're going to be doing a 12-hour live stream.
12 hours.
Continuous, right? To raise money for the victims of Hurricane Melissa in Jamaica. There's a lot of people down there been suffering. So come, join us. We're going to raise money. It's going to be chaos.
We are raising money for 12 hours. What we got?
Around
I know something that you cannot believe. Jamaica, we have a charity stream. You know them way there, man. You know them way there. Come on, fam.
Join us on Friday. It's going to be mayhem.
Yes, everybody, welcome back to DR Sports. Welcome back to Live at 5, as we do every weekday, 5 p.m. to go through all the latest news and the football drama, in the world. We're in the international break right now. It feels like the Premier League come down from last weekend has finished, and we're now starting with the international fixtures starting tomorrow with the England game at home against, is it Slovenia or Slovakia? I sometimes forget. But regardless, I'm joined once again, as yesterday, by Abby on my left-hand side.
Hi.
How's the last 24 hours been for you?
The last 24 hours have been riveting. Yeah? They've been really exciting. I'm watching a great series right now, guys. Amazing series called All Her Fault.
Interesting.
And I am hooked. It's about a kid that goes missing. And I can't tell you who kidnaps the kid because I still don't know, but it's very good. It's on Sky. And I banged through five episodes yesterday.
Funny you mentioned that because I've actually started a new series last night.
What did you start?
It's a new series called I think it's called Pluribus.
Sorry?
Pluribus. I can't remember, but it was on Apple TV. Mental series. It's this writer who the tagline is the most miserable person in the world has to save everyone else from happiness. It's a thriller where effectively suddenly the entire world become like one apart from like this one person, and it's just her like freaking out. It's a fantastic series.
Guys, if you've got any series,
get in the comments, let us know.
We love a good series.
But while I was watching that series last night, tomorrow night, football's back on, as I said, and it's England playing Serbia at home.
Serbia? I thought you said it was Slovenia.
I got it wrong. It's Serbia.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I got it wrong. That's my bad. But Tuchel's had a bit of an interesting press conference today. I don't know if you've seen much of what he said.
No.
But Tuchel, so you know how there's always been this debate about how does England fit all their good talents in?
Yeah.
How do they play Foden and Bellingham and Kane and Rashford and Saka and Rice and all these guys? Basically, Thomas Tuchel's come out and finally said what Southgate never said, which was, we can't. It's effectively what Tuchel said. So Tuchel was asked about Foden, Bellingham and Kane.
Okay.
And basically going, can you play the three of them together? And Tuchel, speaking to TalkSport, said, at the moment, if we keep the structure that we have, they can't play. They can, but not in this structure, not for the balance that we developed, and not for the structure that comes with wingers who are specialists in their positions. We play at the moment with a 6, an 8, a 10, and a 9. So Tuchel, I think he's very much done here what Southgate never did, which was admit that he actually can't fit all these guys in.
I mean, I think it was abundantly obvious that
it really was,
it couldn't fit everyone in. I mean, okay, you wanted him to verbally say it, but I feel like everyone would have just jumped down Gareth Southgate's throat because at the end of the day, we are, whether you support United, whether you support Spurs, whether you support Arsenal, whoever, we all think that we know better than the manager, like we do. When you go into it, that is how football works. We all think that we could do that job. And, it's hard. When you find a balance, obviously, we want everyone to fit in because stylistically, if everybody that is, the most exciting and sexy footballer, on the ball was to play in the team, then obviously that is what you'd like to see. But in terms of like winning a tournament or a competition, it's not always the way. You have to have a specific. I agree with there can be some games like that you can go a little bit more, pedal to the floor type vibe, but you have to have a better balance. And if he wants to go with a 6 and an 8, you do have to kind of. You have to let go of some of the attacking flair options. That is the point of a squad. You can have rotation, you can pick different players for different games. But I think that the way of trying to fit everybody in, plus you want to also fit someone like a Saka in. There's talk about obviously fitting in a Rashford as well. It's just not feasible. It's just not. Did you just read that comment?
I just read that last comment, yeah.
There should be a YouTube video or segment on this channel where Abby teaches everyone Pilates. Well, it might be coming in the near future, guys.
Before we went live, we were talking about other types of shows, DR Sports.
We were talking about other types of shows.
Basically just getting rid of sports and doing
I feel like you guys,
I
feel like you guys would quite like a little lifestyle thing. We might have some lifestyle things coming for you in 2026. But no, the whole point is at some point we are going to get the DR Roundup boys. You're welcome to join as well, doing some Pilates.
That's a
That
fantastic
has been spoken
video.
about by Jason and I for a very long time.
And it might be something that gets, goes behind the DR Sports membership paywall. So do remember, if you want to see all the content, DR Sports obviously is much more content than just what you see on the start of here. Make sure you become a member. There's diary room, behind the scenes, loads of extra content on there. And
Please
also,
do become a member. You get all the good stuff.
Yeah, and there's so much more to come as well. But also at the same time, I also want to plug, as you can see at the moment, on the bottom of the screen, there is a WhatsApp number where you guys can please send in your opinions, whatever we're talking about. If it's the England game we're talking about now, or if you have anything related to football that you want said on this channel, get it in and we'll play it, or a voice note, we'll play it and we'll talk about it.
Where are our hot takes today?
Once again, it didn't go up.
Okay, this is outrageous. Who do I need to complain to about why the hot takes are not going up? I look forward to this segment all week.
It'd be the head of social, wouldn't it? Mr. Jack Devonport himself.
Jack, what is your beef with putting up hot takes? Put them up. I like hot takes. It makes it fun.
It's so much fun, isn't it?
So
we
much
will
fun.
do it. 100% will do. I also want to, what I want to start doing more often on this channel is tier lists.
Yeah, we can tier list.
I was going to speak to Jason about this and say that we should get a whole tier list design set up. So whenever there's a live at 5 where there's not much to talk about, we can just do loads of tier lists.
Yeah.
And we can argue.
Well, because international break is
it's a bit long, guys.
It's a bit long.
It's a bit long.
It's a little bit long. We especially when we get into early stages of next week. Trust me. We're really scraping the bottom of the barrel about what we can talk about without it being super repetitive. But anyway, back to the England squad, back to Thomas Tuchel's comments. I think that, like we said, in an ideal world, you would want to fit all of them in, but sometimes it's just not the case. Like, you want to, that we've got so many attacking options. You want to put Saka in there, you want to put Rashford, you want to put Palmer in there, you want Kane and Foden.
I was going to mention Palmer, because Palmer's obviously he's been injured and then in and out of form with. Also, I think he's injured at the moment for Chelsea, but
he's been injured
also
a long
been
time.
in and out of form in the last 7 or 8 months, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Great in the Club World Cup, but wasn't fantastic in the Premier League before then, and obviously he's picked up injuries left, right, and centre since the beginning of the season. But if we're talking about the number 10 spot, because realistically that's where Foden is at his best as like a free roaming 10, where Bellingham's at his best as a box crashing 10, it's where probably Palmer's at his best as well as a kind of as a creative 10. Who's actually probably going to be the best player for that 10 position? Because in my mind, England's front three is sorted. In my mind, it's Kane and Rashford and Saka as the striker, left and right wing. So who plays as that 10? It's hard, isn't it?
It's hard to decide. I would say if you have Foden in form and the form that he was in 2020...
What year
was that? 2 seasons ago.
2022-23.
Yeah. If he's in that form, then you probably edge towards Foden. However, I know people say, well, look at how poor he was at the Euros. I don't know. I think that we've got an amazing luxury at the minute of having so many players in that position that can go in and do that. I think that the judgment on it will really not be till the end of the season, in all honesty, because at the moment we would obviously discount Cole Palmer because he hasn't played any football, but Cole Palmer in the 10, incredible.
I reckon Palmer's, I might be a bit of a hot take here myself, but I'd say out of the 3 of those, Palmer's the one I'd want in that position if all of them are on form.
Do you think that we would rank Jude Bellingham as the last option in that list?
No, Bellingham over Foden.
You'd have Bellingham over Foden?
Yeah. When I think about that front 3 and who I want behind that front 3, I'd want Palmer behind that front 3 because he's the best blend of creativity while also being able to pop up with a goal. And then Bellingham, I would also rank as someone who can work so well off Kane.
Yeah.
Because one of the reasons why Bellingham was it 20 goals he scored for Madrid in that debut season. And obviously at Dortmund as well was the fact that he, a bit like in the way, I'm not saying they're the same level, but the way McTominay does at Napoli and did it last season at United, it's that last minute dart into the box he's so good at and running off people. Harry Kane, you know this better than anyone, loves to drop deep and really got a good pass on him, can lay the ball off, can obviously finish a chance. And I feel like Bellingham would, the dynamic between Bellingham and Kane if Bellingham was in the 10 would be great.
But the argument would also be that how would you leave out someone like Foden if he gets back to that form?
You got to leave out according to Tuchel, he's going to have to leave out 2 of them.
Yeah.
Because this is the thing I wouldn't want to see. This is what some of the chat are saying, is I wouldn't want to see Bellingham as the 8.
No, I don't think that's his best position.
Yeah, I'd rather see Declan Rice and then play alongside Wharton or Anderson as like the
let's think about what is the ideal team then.
Team or just front 6 or whole team?
Whole team.
Should we start with the front 6 though? Or do you want to start with the defence?
I think we should start with the back.
Start with the back. Goalkeeper, it's Jordan Pickford.
Yeah, that picks
Because
itself.
like James Trafford's been called up and Dean Henderson has been fantastic with Palace in the last few months. But it is Jordan Pickford. There's no one else.
Okay, left back.
I feel like left back. Trent still? No, Reece James. No, sorry, that's something. Sorry, I was thinking right back. Left back. There's not much, is there? If he's fit, it's probably going to end. It might end up being Luke Shaw. It actually might.
It's crazy work. Well, you can.
Like because he's played so well.
But you can play.
Left centre back.
You can play. Firstly, Jed Spence there.
Spence's another option.
You can play.
Or you've got Dan Burn.
You can play Jed Spence there. You can play. Yeah, Dan Burn. I'm just trying to think of full-back options on both sides that would have Lewis Hall.
Lewis Skelly.
Well,
obviously, he's not getting. There's a lot of talk at the moment about Tuchel and his comments on Lewis Skelly.
Reece James thingy.
On the right, I think it's Reece James.
See, I think he'll go. But Trent gives you so much in your build-up play.
Yeah, but so does Reece James.
Oh, I know.
Reece James is incredible. It's just obviously his injuries, like having like Shaw and Reece James as your fullback option.
I'm not sure
if they're both great. If they're both on form and fit, fantastic. But you almost can't. It's almost certain that one of them won't be fit. That's the problem.
Yeah, I don't know. I reckon
Nico O'Reilly was great. So one of the comments
O'Reilly.
has said Jeremy Doku Goat 11 has said that Nico O'Reilly was fantastic against Salah.
Yeah.
But I think if fit, I'm not necessarily saying it's the best option, but I think if fit, Luke Shaw will be there.
Terrifying that Luke Shaw is probably England's still their best option.
Yeah.
Crazy. But there are options.
But there are other options. I think right now I'm leaning towards like Lewis Hall or something. I don't know.
I would lean to Jed
Spence. To be fair, he's been on good form this season.
Well, also he's played at left back the entire time basically for Spurs. He hardly ever plays on the right. And I understand people don't always like it when you don't have the same footed player on that side, but he's always played at left back because Porro's always been a right back, so he's very well versed in doing it. I forget that he's actually. I
don't honestly right now. I don't mind putting it in. Someone says Shaw so underrated. I think he is
probably because of the injury.
He gets so much stick.
He's always been very good for. He's also been very good for England, Luke Shaw.
And Luke Shaw's always been I think he's been fantastic for England, and he's always been fit for England as well. That's what's so annoying. But this season, Shaw's been it's a left centre back rather than left back.
Yeah.
But he's been great for us this season. He's basically played almost every single minute.
So we would go.
He started every game.
We would go Reece James.
I would go Reece James at right back, Luke Shaw left back if everyone's fit.
Okay. Then
but that's a big if because of the two of them are just so
centre backs.
Yeah, centre backs, Stones and Gay. For me.
Stones and Gay.
It's got to be Stones. John Stones awesome, Mark Gay awesome.
Okay. Midfield. Declan Rice.
Wharton or Anderson. That's the thing. Wharton or Anderson. Unfortunately, Mainoo's not in this conversation.
Both good.
I would rather, next to Rice, I think I would rather see Anderson.
I don't really mind. I think they're both good. I think they're both good options.
Yeah. That is something I wanted to... If you're playing a pivot with Declan Rice and then one of Wharton or Anderson, who would you want to see as that second midfielder? It's such a hard choice, isn't it?
That is a hard choice. But either or.
Yeah.
Either or.
I think, so Chudi Ethan just said this in the comments. I personally think Wharton to start. I think Wharton will start, which means that Anderson's price probably hopefully won't go up over the course of the World Cup.
Oh, why? Because you're eyeing that.
Because I really like Anderson. I think Wharton will start, but I think Anderson would maybe be the better fit. But obviously, they're both fantastic.
They're both very, very good.
This is when we get to the front. Well, basically, this is back to the number 10 thing.
Then we're back
Harry Kane is up front.
Harry Kane.
You know, Marcus Rashford has 13 goal involvements this season for Barcelona.
I mean, I'm not surprised.
6 goals, 7
and also,
7 goals, 6
he's always
assists.
been the best option, I think, on.
Yeah, he's always
when
been
when he's been available. I mean, the resurgence is crazy because I think that even if we went back 6 months, we wouldn't have been talking about him getting back into the England squad. Okay, so Saka, Kane, Rashford.
See,
and here we are back at this one position.
We're back to where we were before. I'm picking Palmer.
You're picking
in the
Palmer?
10. Yeah. But that is on the contingency that he picks up his form. Same with Bellingham, because Bellingham's had his injury issues so far this season as well. So right now, I know I'm blowing everything I've just said out the window, but right now, based on form, Foden is the best option.
At the minute,
I find picking everyone based on who's the best. No, it's not benching Rice. So
Who's bench Rice?
We're saying alongside Rice.
we put Rice in, guys.
We put Rice in. So
Rice
it's
was
Saka
no
or sorry, not
discussion.
Saka. Wharton or Anderson
Next to
alongside
Rice.
Rice. This is what we're saying.
I think that at the minute, I would go Foden. In the 10.
But if everyone was at their best, I want Palmer. I just think Palmer's incredible. He's so good.
Yeah, he is.
Because Rashford likes coming inside. Palmer can slip out on the left. If Saka's a touchline winger. But if Kane drops deep, Palmer can play. He can lead a line as well.
That's a very good point that Judy makes. He says that I think Palmer is a very good sub, but I think Jude wouldn't be as good as a sub. I probably can see that.
Well, I mean, Palmer came off the bench in the Euros final and scored.
No, he's saying that Palmer is a good sub.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that Palmer came off the bench as a sub and scored.
Oh,
I see
I
that,
don't know.
but I don't know if you. I don't know if you should sacrifice and if Palmer is on form, an on-form Palmer.
I can't imagine him
to play
doing.
Bellingham.
I can't imagine him doing like Palmer, Bellingham, Rice. Can't see that.
That's what I mean.
Can't see it.
I don't think. I think he only sees Bellingham as a 10 or bust. Whereas I think at least Palmer and Foden also they have a shot at that right wing position. Saka's obviously first choice for it.
Yeah.
But they can do it. Although
I-
historically Foden hasn't done it for
the
England.
4 irremovable objects in an England side are Pickford, Rice, Kane, Saka.
Yeah.
That's
I hear
the
that.
4 irremovable areas. The rest can be interchanged,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Zane says, don't know why Jack Grealish can't get in this side. It's just because he's not as good as Rashford. It's not that he can't get in the squad.
He might get in the squad.
He might get in the squad, but
I
I don't think he's better than Marcus Rashford.
I think with Grealish, again, if he carries on the form that he's having so far this season and kind of that resurgence we've seen at Everton, he will definitely be included in the squad, 100%. I can't see a world where he's left out.
Well, the forwards that have currently been selected
bring me the team.
for this window, the forwards are Bowen, Eze, Foden, Gordon, Kane, Rashford, and Saka.
Bring me that again, sorry.
So Bowen, Eze, Foden, Gordon, Kane, Rashford, and Saka.
I mean, Anthony Gordon should be nowhere near that.
Yeah, that's why
Gordon's
is Anthony Gordon in that team?
Anthony Gordon is having a terrible season.
He's not got a single goal.
He's been all right in Europe, but he's been terrible in the league.
Yeah.
He shouldn't be anywhere near that squad.
He shouldn't be in that squad. But then you've also got a couple of... I think there's been a couple of, like, call-ups, like testing call-ups here. Like, for example, like big up to Alex Scott, by the way, from Bournemouth. So he's been called up for the first time. He's having a storming season. He's in midfield. Other midfielders, Anderson, Bellingham, Henderson, Rice, Rodgers, and Wharton. Although Rodgers is obviously more of a forward. Goalkeepers were Henderson, Pickford, and Trafford. Because Trafford came in because Nick Pope got injured.
Yeah.
I think Gordon may have been... Did Gordon get called up after... Oh, no, it was Chalobah. Chalobah's been called up as well, but due to injury. I can't remember who got injured. Mark Gay has been injured. So the defenders are Dan Burn, Chalobah, James, Konsa, Nico O'Reilly, Kwanzaa, Jed Spence, and John Stones.
Yeah, that's about right. Chalobah, I don't understand what Chalobah's done either to get called up. But
Well, he's been called up because Mark Gay got injured.
okay.
So Chalobah's...
The Anthony Gordon one really throws me because I feel like that must be just to try out different
Seeing
players.
what could be there.
Yeah.
He was good last season.
He's a good player. He's just not having a very good season.
He's
right
good,
now.
but he's nowhere near the level of half of these other guys. I wouldn't even say he's definitely not been near the level of Grealish this season. Because really Grealish has won a Player of the Month award,
and
Anthony
Grealish hasn't
Gordon
had a
hasn't.
call up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe he just wants to have a good look.
I think this squad there's gonna be
I think there'll be some shocks.
there's gonna be some chops and changes here.
Yeah. Well, obviously, this is the last international break we have till March. Yay! We're going to get football basically every night. Yay!
Yeah.
Yay! I'm so bored of having 3 games, then off. Then 3 games, then off. It's like it's like when you're at school and you've got like half term, which I guess everyone is buzzing for at the time. But like, it's boring. Boring international break.
Yeah.
I would rather them do that idea that they were throwing about saying they're just going to do 1 month of international break.
Well, next
That's
season there's a 3-week international
That's it.
break.
Like, just bang it out.
And then I think
get it done.
It's the September one that I think might be going. So you know how it's 3 games in August and it's immediate international break. I think that's international break's going, and then there's like a 3-week international break in like October or something.
Yeah, it's just I'm over it. I'm over it, guys.
Judy
really am.
Eden says, "What an England squad! We only have Pulisic." Well, you know what? I'm quite interested to know. Judy Eden, send another super chat in about or something about what you think about Pochettino.
Yes, please. I do try and keep an eye on what's going on. I really do, because I still have a vested interest in having him come home one day. But I'm interested to know, because you didn't have what was the tournament they had in the summer? Oh my god, my brain's gone blank. But whatever, they didn't do so well over the summer whenever they had that tournament to the level that you would expect USA to do. I just wanted to see if you think that there has been any improvement, like you've seen with him and players and results, and kind of like, obviously this builds up for, you know, the World Cup in that side of the world in America. How much buzz is there? And what is like the expectation for the USA team? That's what I would like to know.
Yeah, their squad felt like they was actually getting somewhere like 3 or 4 years ago, the US. But then it feels like it's tailed. Like you'd Weston McKennie and co.
Weston McKennie.
Pulisic. And there were a couple others who I can't think of right now.
I just don't know what the realistic
Josh Sargent as well.
goal
That was
is
another one. When he went to
from
Norwich,
Norwich,
everyone
yeah.
was thinking, oh, that could be, because he came from like Wolfsburg or something. He came to England. Everyone's like, oh, Josh Sargent potential. But then it feels like it's dipped off a little bit. England's, I feel like there's going to be a number of changes to this squad. Like come the summer.
Yeah. Well, this
I
is not the final one. Like, at the end of the day, it wasn't exactly a long contract that Thomas Tuchel has had. And
Well, it's the end of the summer.
You only get a few opportunities to really look at. I mean, obviously, I'm sure he watches so much of every single person, every single prospect, and goes to a lot of games anyway. But you don't get that much time to let a team actually gel. So it really depends who has a great season and what he thinks. But I think that what else did he say in the press conference?
Yeah, let me just get that up, because that was one thing he said, and I found something else and I've lost it, which is fantastic from me being the host. Yeah, so a lot of the things. So just continuing about the number 10 thing is they can't, in this current structure, he plays an 8, 10, and a 9. Especially number 10 position. If you think about Phil Foden could play there. If you think about Jude, you think about Morgan Rogers, who played fantastic for us in this position. You've got Cole Palmer, Gibbs White, obviously who's not been called up. So there's a lot of players, and there's a chance that we will not take everybody. This is not because we don't like it, not because they don't individually deserve it, because we will always do what's best for the team. We will always do what's best for winning. We will always do what's best for balance, and we will try to keep the clarity, even if it means we have to take some tough decisions. We take tough decisions in any camp, and this will not change when we go to the tournament. There's going to be so many good players for England, like players like Morgan Gibbs White, etc., who are probably going to end up not going.
Morgan Rogers, and
it's mad how top heavy. I know people say this all the time. I find it mad how top heavy England are.
Yeah, but England have a brilliant forward selection of players.
So yeah, it's top heavy.
It's always been at the back, actually, that England are, in a bit of a deficit. So we've got so much talent, and this is where I think the argument always comes from. Like, why have England not got over the line? Why have they not won anything with the options that we have? But I don't know. Is this a tournament that they do it? Sometimes it's such a weird thing to say, but sometimes having the best players on paper doesn't make it the best team.
Yeah, circa 2008 England squad. Like the golden generation, so to speak. These guys are so far clear of them.
Yeah, like so far clear of the talent. And
as far as actually playing as a squad goes.
Yeah. And also look at that actual golden generation. We were all growing up. There was no cohesion between them.
That's what I mean. Is this current squad would beat that squad, I reckon, based purely off the fact that they played better together.
That they play better together. So I don't know. This is a big one. I mean, that is the whole point of bringing Thomas Tuchel in, that he's going to get England finally over the line. He's here for a good time, not a long time. So yeah.
There's also been there's been some comments about Elliot Anderson from Tuchel, but something I want to actually address before is one of the questions in the title.
Okay.
Who's England's number 2 striker?
Current.
But realistically, who's actually the best option? Because you'd think, because in the summer it was Ollie Watkins, wasn't it? During not the summer, but 2024, it was Ollie Watkins, and Ollie Watkins coming off the bench, scoring a massive goal in was it semi-finals? He scored the winner?
Yeah.
Quarter or semi-finals. And then Watkins has scored 1 goal in 16 games this season. Rashford, you'd think, could play there, but he's first choice left winger. I know we talked about Bellingham not being up top, not being only a number 10 and not number 8. But could he potentially be like a backup striker, or Morgan Rogers playing higher up, or
no.
Welbeck?
Well, I honestly think that, I know the form in terms of what you're saying about Watkins. Currently, he wouldn't be. Well, he would still be the second best option. Ivan Toney, had he not have gone to Saudi, would have either been that second option as well. And you kind of look at what's there. Like Danny Welbeck would be, if you go off of form, he's the number 2. He is the option. He's not in the squad?
He should be.
He's not in the squad, is it?
He's not in the squad. I don't know what. He's got 6 goals in 5 games. Oh,
I mean,
it was like 6 games maybe.
Kenya's just run a poll and she's put Delap in that. I mean,
forgot about Delap, you know.
We haven't seen much this season. Like, he's been injured.
As far as that question
I'm sorry,
goes,
I don't,
who is England's best second choice
I refuse
striker?
to put
Danny Welbeck.
Delap above Welbeck at the moment.
Delap's been injured the whole season.
I would put Danny Welbeck in there. Ollie Watkins, I think, on paper is still the second choice. But I think that Danny Welbeck, if we have really limited options in terms of strikers, and unless, like I said yesterday, unless Ivan Toney comes back to the Premier League, he's not going to be an option to go to the World Cup either. So it does leave a place for someone like a Welbeck. And Delap is a very good player. Solanke, again, I haven't seen him. He's been injured. He has been injured.
He's been away for a while.
Literally, the guy was meant to be out for a knock. He's been out for months. So, yeah, I can't even include Solanke in that because he hasn't been fit.
Yeah. Chadiden's come back to us about the Poch and the quality. So he basically said, no expectations, to be honest. Obviously, they're talking about the US. We are more excited about high-level football, not soccer, being played here. Oh. That's fair, to be fair. You've got like all the best players in the world flying over to the US to play in all their amazing stadiums.
Okay.
Should be good fun. Also, I'm a dual citizen, so hoping Nigeria qualify.
Love that.
Yeah, and also that's a fantastic moment for me to segue into the fact that tomorrow there won't be any live at 5, but there will be a watch-along for Nigeria versus Gabon. Or Gabon, I don't know. I'm not quite... I may mess that one up, but make sure you are there. I think it's from 3:45 onwards, I want to say.
Nice.
Nigeria versus Gabon watch-along, so make sure you are there. I'm sure the panel... Not sure who's on the panel, but I'm sure it'll be fantastic as all the content on DR Sports is amazing.
As all the content.
Yeah.
And then obviously Friday we've got our big Jamaica stream as well.
Yes.
Love that.
I'm so looking forward to that.
It's going to be a good day.
There
is going to be so much going on in this building, in and out, and different people coming in and out all the time. So just make sure you just got it on your TV all day.
Yeah,
YouTube.
I've decided I'm gonna turn up here about 2 p.m. and just I might, even if they're filming out, I might just sit over there on that sofa and just watch.
It's
just going to be so funny.
They're doing a live Best of Enemies. What else? I think we're all just coming in and out as we please, just to have a fun day.
It's just loads and loads and loads of stuff. Yeah. We're not going to reveal everything. Obviously,
I wish someone was cooking. I wish not like a cooking. I mean like actual food. We could have done like a...
Why?
I don't know, like make
cook-along.
food. Yeah, cook-along.
Oh, we could have got a chef in.
We could have got a chef.
To make like football meals.
Food. Yeah.
That sounds
We could have sold it. We could have a little market stall. See, now I'll come out with all the ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should text Jason and let him know. But yeah, on Friday, literally it's midday till midnight. So much going on. And make sure, there'll be the donations links and everything. And all the proceeds and all that, I think, going to help everyone in Jamaica who's obviously been suffering from all the recent issues over there, which also very, very personally affects a lot of people here as well. So make sure you check out for that. Hop in, hop out, get your super chats in, donations and everything for that. And we're hoping to raise a load of money for everybody. But Thomas Tuchel's also been speaking about Elliot Anderson, who obviously I was just saying that, I'm a huge champion of Elliot Anderson. I've got people who are like Crystal Palace fans, some of my friends. So obviously they're on the Adam Wharton side of the debate.
Yeah.
And then when it was Wharton Mania, was very much
so
pro Mania.
You are doing Elliot Anderson.
But Elliot Anderson, I am such a huge fan of this guy, and Tuchel seems to back me up here. He said, Anderson is a key player for us at the moment. He is one of the best midfielders in the Premier League. That's why he's with us and starting for us. He deserves it because he's been nothing but impressive. He has to keep on going now, though. He's a very complete and mobile midfielder. That's what he keeps showing me. He still has a long career ahead of him and a long way to go. There are no guarantees, especially not publicly for the World Cup. It doesn't help me right now to give predictions or guarantees to my players because it's not about it's all about competition at the moment. He is an elite player with the right attitude and a lot of talent. He is fulfilling his role in the best way possible, so we are very happy with him.
Fair.
Massive praise from Tuchel. And apparently, according to, I don't know how much you want to believe Florian Plettenberg, because he's a bit hit and miss, but he said 100 to 120 million pounds is what Forest can be looking for this summer for him. Which is mad.
Mad money.
Huge money. Personally, I think I'm as I said, massive fan
The
of Elliot
market is a
Anderson.
bit mental,
That is
though.
way too high.
But the market is mental. Like, I look at my own players. Like, we paid 47 odd million for Brennan Johnson. Like,
that's your fault.
yeah, I know. We paid
Actually,
65
that might be our
or
fault
60
because of
odd million for
Anthony.
Richarlison. You paid 80 million for Anthony. Like,
Yeah.
the market can be mental. I probably reckon he's somewhere between 80. He's probably in the 80 bracket.
I would have put him in 70 to 80 million pounds.
Yeah, I don't think that they're going to get
Yeah.
120. Like, even the money that also, sorry, can we just keep the money that has been spent on like Isak, Florian Wirtz? Like, we're talking about a mental market. Is Alexander Isak 130 million pounds?
No.
Like, realistically, where would you have valued Isak at the end of last season?
At the end of last season, I'd have valued him for Newcastle. He was probably worth 130 million pounds.
Oh yeah, they got what he was worth to them. But
Yeah, but in terms
what
of
do we
his
think the
market
actual
value-
market value of him is?
Thing is that I compare him to players like, so I'm thinking like Brian Mbeumo, for example. There is no way that Alexander Isak is worth double what Brian Mbeumo
No,
is
but
worth,
you just
right?
got a particularly
So
good deal.
we got a good deal with that one. At the end of the day, 65 million pounds is still very steep, but that was a very good deal for us in the end.
I don't think that's a bad deal. I think that's a good deal.
But I would put Isak at 90 to 100. Wouldn't nowhere near 130. Nowhere near 130. Florian Wirtz wouldn't put 116
I'd
million
have said
pounds with
100.
add-ons like
I'd have said 100 mil.
for Isak.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd potentially reaching 9 figures, but I just find it mad.
I just think the market is insane.
The
They paid
market's
100.
insane
How
at the
much did they
moment.
pay for Florian Wirtz? 120 euros.
It was 100 million plus 16 in add-ons, so
basically
160. They committed 116.
It's
for
crazy.
it.
Like, we're talking about ridiculous. Do you understand? Even when we talk about a player and goes, no, not even worth more than 20 mil. 20 million pounds for a
Yeah.
human.
I'd
It's
take
crazy.
20 million pounds any day.
I'd like it if someone would be like, oh yeah, she's worth like, 100 grand. I'd be like, okay, thanks. Like, it's crazy, crazy money. I mean, I don't know. The way the market's going, at some point it has to cap. Like,
Well, I think
it
this.
won't be long till we start reaching those levels in the Prem, like when we see 200 mil in the Prem.
I think what's going to happen about the defensive midfielders this summer, and I'm saying this while mid trying to fight off a sneeze, is
Bless you.
it's become.
Do you know that actually stops the sneeze from coming?
Yeah, I've
Takes your
heard.
mind off of
yeah.
it.
That or like scaring is hiccups, isn't it?
Hiccups is scaring, or hiccups when you've got them. Tip: hold your nose and drink water, but don't like tip your head back. You've got to keep it like. I'll do a demo for you. God, this is how bored we are on Live at 5 today.
This is
Okay, this is demo for hiccups.
DR Sports medical advice.
Okay.
And you're not hiccuping. Wow.
Well, I didn't have hiccups,
No,
so
I know.
basically just do that next time you've got hiccups.
There you
And
go.
they do go.
Abby's life advice coming soon.
Life
I feel like the market. So defensive midfielders, right? It's such a glamorous position at the moment.
Yes.
Like, it's a position that all the best
Resurgent
best teams in the world in the last 10 years have had a midfielder who's worth around like 70 to 100 million pounds, right?
Yeah.
You've got think about prime Casemiro at Real Madrid or like Modric or Kroos. Declan Rice has changed Arsenal with about it was 105 million, wasn't it?
Rice.
Declan Rice. No one speaks about that because he's been such a success. Moises Caicedo is when he's on form with Chelsea, they're fantastic. He's amazing.
Yeah.
Like Gravenberch at Liverpool, obviously they paid 40 for him, but he's in that bracket of, I'd say, it's like a 70 to 80 million
for
pound
sure, for
midfielder. All the best teams in the world have these ridiculously expensive midfielders.
yeah.
And then you've got Palace popping up with Wharton, who's around that, and they're playing amazing. They were 19 game unbeaten at one point. They won the FA Cup, and all that. Nottingham Forest, probably the anomaly in this situation because they're going through an insane time.
Yeah.
But Anderson, let's say maybe for England, saying
Yeah.
England now have these £100 million players, and Belieber last year, Brighton had a really good season, and Belieber was incredible for them the whole season. The one thing I think though is there's more than one available this market this time. I mean, from a United perspective, there's Wharton, Belieber, and Anderson all available who will go next summer.
Yeah.
And there's more supply, so I think the price will come down.
Do you think?
Yeah.
I still
For
think
example,
that it's-
Belieber isn't having a great season.
Yeah.
I don't think Brighton will be, unless he picks up, Brighton won't be able to turn around and do the same things they did last summer, which was either 100 plus or bust. Because we were thinking around, United's with the reports were around 60 to 70 mil was what we were willing to commit.
Which is probably right.
And I think he's actually gotten closer towards that side of the value now
Yeah.
rather than the 100 plus because the season's not been fantastic. And if you've got someone like that,
we are still very early on in the season.
we are very early in the season. I feel like, it's just I'm being a bit thrown in the chat saying Rice isn't a 6 though, is he? Does this guy not understand this? Well, he was a bit more of a 6 when they bought him.
Yeah,
but I mean, in terms of, I'm not saying like a defense number 6. I'm talking about like an engine room midfielder.
Yeah,
Rice is an engine room. Caicedo's an engine room.
I feel like having a CDM is that they are very hard to come by. Having one of that level, that is why we have so much praise when you look at a Declan Rice and you look at a Caicedo. For example, I'm just using those two as a singling out example. That the level to have a very good CDM, you do have to pay for it, and because it's one of the most important roles in football to have that. It really is. I mean, think about over the years, some of them, like you said, about some of the most amazing ones. That even Casemiro at his best, like it kind of like went out of fashion a little bit over periods of time, like to have that emphasis. But actually, they're so important. Like even like Polina, I've loved having João Polina.
Yeah, you're so in love with that guy.
I'm so in love with the guy. It's just so nice to have someone that can, sit in front of that back line. So I don't know, that market value is going to continue to go up. I can't see that coming down.
I feel like I can see it not being as crazy as the current numbers being thrown around.
I think the market's only going to get crazier.
So those 3 players, what do you think? Because I'm assuming they're all going to leave for whichever clubs in the coming summer, right? I don't see Believer staying at Brighton. I don't see Wharton staying at Palace. I don't see Anderson staying at Forest. What's the average price going to be of those 3 then?
The average, 85.
You reckon about 85 million?
Average.
And what's the highest price of those 3 going to be?
120.
But that means that another one of them is going to have to go for about 60 to 70. Maybe the other 2.
I reckon one goes for about 70.
Which will be...
Don't know.
I think Anderson might end up being potentially the cheapest.
I reckon the highest it goes to is between 110 and 120.
Trudy even said, out of those 3, who do you think is worth the most? Oh, that's a good question.
Out of Anderson, Wharton, and who was the other one? Belieber. Are
you saying who we think will go for the most, or like outside of? Because in context, Adam Wharton's going to be the most expensive one.
I think Wharton,
because he is the most indispensable to the team he's currently in.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I reckon it's Belieber, Anderson, Wharton.
Yeah, I think Wharton will go for the most out of those 3 because Crystal Palace is going to sit there and they're in the best position to, I think, at the moment, not demand money. And Wharton is the only one who I've also seen linked reliably to Real Madrid. So in the Wharton sphere, when Real Madrid are involved, that changes things.
Yeah.
But the other 2 I've not seen linked to players at teams outside the Premier League. And so far, when's the last time 2 Premier League clubs really went head to head with each other for a player? Like it feels like with Premier League clubs, there's a really obvious front runner, and that's basically it. Whereas when Premier League
with Eze, but it wasn't like wasn't like super head to head like
that.
A bidding
Yeah,
war.
that wasn't really head to head.
We don't really see like
it?
a bidding war these days.
Yeah, I feel like when multiple
like
teams in the Premier League want to sign for you, or want you to sign them,
yeah.
they kind of just they get the okay first. Like with us with Mbumo, it was like we got the okay from Mbumo for Cunha. It was we got the okay for him before we actually registered proper interest in him. That was what was so funny
about the whole tapping up thing when it came to Gibbs White.
Yeah,
guys, clubs do this all the time. It's rubbish. They do it all the time. Probably the only time in history it's actually been reported. The only time I think of is Van Dijk. Yeah. Do you remember when Southampton threatened to? But that was just they wanted more cash. Yeah. Just to reply back to Zach OB, he mentioned Kante, Xhaka, Rodri, Fabinho. He said there's never been a lack. You guys are just disregarding. It wasn't saying that there was a lack. It's just that I think of real top quality ones, we're kind of seeing the resurgence of those standouts again. Obviously, Kante, probably one of the best to ever do it, ever. Especially the value of him as well. Rodri, unbelievable. Ballon d'Or.
Ekitike is a good shout. So just about the head-to-head thing, Zach Obi said Ekitike. That's a good shout. Šeško, I don't really think was an issue. Wissa as well. Were there multiple clubs going in for Wissa?
Not I remember.
It wasn't I just feel like in general, like top clubs, like the big 6 Premier League clubs.
Liverpool, Caicedo, Liverpool, Lavia. So
you know what I think?
Chelsea,
Caicedo. Newcastle were going for Šeško, but Šeško basically said the entire time he wanted United.
Yeah.
Like Newcastle had a bid accepted and he still didn't go there. I think that says it all.
Yeah.
Is that he wanted United, but they were just basically Leipzig were just waiting for United to cough up a bit more cash. I reckon Caicedo probably is the last one where the level I'm talking to, where it's we're going to outbid you, no, you're going to outbid us, we're going to outbid you, and you properly
Yeah.
just fight for the player.
Yeah, I can't really remember.
It doesn't happen between the big six clubs too
You
often.
mentioned Tottenham and Bayern, like Spurs weren't really.
Yeah, which is why
They would have liked him, I reckon. Like obviously,
it was never on the cards.
It wasn't.
It was
like-
never really. Yeah, Spurs can come to an agreement with Brentford all they liked, and Bruno sat there from day one and went, "No, I'm signing for United." End of story. So it was never a fight. But this is what I mean when I talk about Real Madrid and Wharton, saying that that's what I think is going to drive Wharton's price up over the other two potentially. Is if Real Madrid are coming in for him, then it's like Real Madrid, and then the Premier League clubs are going to think they might want to take on Real Madrid more willingly than taking on, I don't know, Man City,
Maybe so.
for example.
Maybe soon.
Yeah.
Supreme Leader said, "I look like your grandma." I mean, she must be gorgeous then. She must be. Next topic.
Mudryk, nah.
Oh, the Mudryk one was wild. Oh, Mudryk was wild.
Mudryk one was hilarious.
Actually, that was a real battle between Arsenal.
That
and
was,
Chelsea.
wasn't it? Yeah.
That really was.
And Arsenal won.
Well, they technically did.
I think we can
they
say
won the
overall
war.
They lost the battle.
They lost the battle, but they won the war. Yeah, they won the war.
So something that I saw the Premier League tweet out
Yeah.
this morning, which I thought was very interesting, was who has been the most underrated player so far this season. And they had I don't know if you guys see this, they had Nico O'Reilly on the graphic, which I think is a shout. Obviously, he's stocked a high now after the game played so well against Salah.
Underrated player
The most
this
underrated players of
season.
the season. Because I was going through some of the comments. I commented saying Matthias de Ligt because I'm a massive fan of Matthias de Ligt. And then people saying Nico O'Reilly. What are the ones we've got here? Mateus Nunes from Man City.
Yeah.
Urian Timber. And then someone said Mbeumo.
I feel like he's rated though. I feel like who's not rating Urian Timber?
Yeah, I think everyone rates him.
I don't think he should be in the list because I feel like everyone rates him.
Yeah. I feel like he was underrated in the way of no one rated him because he was injured for a season.
Zubimendi is a good shout.
Zubimendi's a great shout.
And also, to be fair, everyone that you've just put in there, Ken, is a good one. Granit Xhaka, what he's been doing at Sunderland, unreal.
But is that underrated? I think everyone's agreeing that Jack has been amazing this season.
Yeah, fair. I think Zubimendi is a good one because I think there's so much praise that probably goes on other players at Arsenal that maybe he doesn't. He kind of just goes under the radar maybe a little bit because considering I'm in this building a lot, I don't actually hear them. I don't hear them chime on loads about Zubimendi. Do you?
Jack does.
Apart from Jack.
That's it. Well, because Zubimendi's, I feel he might, like you might class him as underrated because he's not one who gets loads of camera time, quote unquote.
Do you know who's someone who's been so good?
Yeah.
Ndiaye of Everton.
Oh, he's been awesome.
He's been brilliant.
Yeah.
That would be my pick.
I feel like there's a 55 million move to like Bayern Munich being lined up for him, something like that. I feel like he's been awesome this season. Yeah.
He's been brilliant.
You should do the best signings starting 11 sometime. That's also a good shout. We can do that.
Well, do you know what, guys? We've got another few weeks, so
we've got ages. We
ages.
might be able to that. You might see that coming next Monday or something
might be on
during the international break. A lot of people are saying De Ligt, man. Like,
keep it moving.
look, I go on De Ligt all the time. Oh, someone says Esteval. You know what? I've been well surprised with Esteval, by the way.
He's been very good. He's been very, very good. I'm trying to think who else has been.
You're saying Diouf at West Ham. I don't think you can call any West Ham player underrated.
At the minute.
Because they're like second last.
We could do overrated. Who's been overrated?
Who's been overrated this
Overrated
season?
this season. I think the signing of like Elanga to Newcastle was an overrated one.
Massively overrated.
That is a hugely overrated one. And I was actually a really big fan of Elanga.
Well, he was the first of the pack, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Of like this Premier League to Premier League stuff. Elanga went, and then everyone, or Igor Thiago, Kenyon just said in the chat,
yes,
huge.
Obviously. Simmons, hugely disappointing so far.
Oh yeah, I was saying Igor Thiago was underrated.
Oh yeah, Igor Thiago is
he's second top scorer of the season.
Yeah.
He's on like 8 goals.
Massively underrated.
Crazy.
Simmons would be in there. Wirtz would be in there. Basically, everyone apart from Ekitike when we come to Liverpool.
Yes.
Everyone apart from Ekitike. Simmons. What about anyone from your side? Been a bit underrated by Cunha?
Saying what underrated
Have
signings?
you been a bit underrated by him?
No, I'm very happy with Cunha.
Overrated?
No, I think he's been what I thought he'd be.
Just asking.
Yeah. He's going to get better. Sheshko obviously has been the world's greatest signing so far.
Gyökeres?
Gyökeres is an interesting one, because he scored like 4 Prem goals for them, 6 in all competitions, brace against Atletico Madrid. But it's the rest of it, which is a bit like he looks a bit like he doesn't quite know what's going on yet.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say that he's been an overrated or underrated signing. He's not been at the horses or at the races. But like I give like when Laurie's on here, I sometimes give him a bit of lip about Gyökeres, basically saying he looks a bit like a donkey at the minute, because he does. He looks a little bit like he's got the Timberland boots on.
Yeah.
But it's you can't really knock it because Arsenal are top of the league.
That's a good shout, Krupi at Bournemouth.
Krupi, he's been amazing.
Yeah, that's a great shout. Damsgaard, he's been the most underrated.
What, from Bournemouth? Brentford.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the Brentford squad have been under. You could probably just say every Brentford player, isn't it? Because I mean, I had
the
them
manager,
to go,
even Keith Andrews.
yeah, I had them to go down.
Reinders, okay, expected more because he had such a strong start to the season, didn't he?
He's done nothing since the opening day against Wolves. They beat Wolves 4-2 and he got a goal and assist.
Overrated.
2-month injury.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's just the Liverpool transfers, isn't it? Why don't you mention Cunha as being overrated? He's not been over. I don't think he's been overrated at all.
Do you know what I would say? I think he's a very, very good player. I think that he probably hasn't been as influential at United. I think Mbeumo's been the stand.
Cunha's been a 6 out of 10 for us so far. So nothing bad, but nothing standout. But that's partly because we've been using him a bit as a bit of a utility so far.
Yeah.
And I don't want to use. In terms of formation and goals, he's been a little bit of a sacrificial lamb.
Yeah.
Right? We played him up front against Liverpool, where basically his job was to not win duels.
Yeah.
Like, how you meant to score and have a good game beyond just doing that if that was your set? The whole instruction was, we're going to ping it up to you, you need to lose it to Van Dijk, and our midfield will collect it, and then you then pass it on.
Yeah.
Like, when you've got an instruction like that, I'd say his game against Liverpool and then the one against Brighton, where he did play back on the left, where he's at his best, he's been great. I think the first couple of games of the season, where he played through the middle against Fulham, he was fantastic. Yeah. When we lost to Arsenal, he was incredible. But then other games such as the one against Grimsby, Brentford, and Nottingham Forest. Not the world's best games from him, but it's just he's not scored goal. He scored 1 goal, but he's warranted more. And I think he's had a number of good games mixed in with a number of subpar games, but I can't really bash him for what he's done so far, because in terms of what he's been told to do, he's done it well 8 out of 10 times.
Okay, fair
but he's just not got the goals or assists yet. Whereas Mbeumo is just incredible, and he's just scored. He's got 5 goals so far this season.
Energy.
Premier League Player of the Month, our Player of the Month twice.
What do you think then in terms of Benjamin Sesko? Like, where do you think that goes for the rest of the season? Like, what do you want?
Šeško.
Well, obviously, I know what you'll want to see out of him for the rest of the season, but what do you think actually probably the ceiling is for him this season?
He'll get better. But I just think he needs, as we've seen with so many signings from the Bundesliga, it seems to just take an extra couple months.
Why is that, though?
I think it's just the translation of the league. It's one of the hardest leagues to translate to, Bundesliga to Premier League, I think. That's not me necessarily making excuses for him. I think that's just, like, historically, that's been the case. Like, France to England has always been pretty decent, because I'd say after the Premier League, France is the next most physical out of the top 5, the big 5, the top 5 leagues. I'm not saying the highest quality, but in terms of physicality, it's big time. That's why, for example, Lenny Yoro, despite the fact that he's 19, slotted into us so quickly, and when he went like 12 games without being dribbled past or something. After that, Suleimani tore him apart, obviously, second half of last season. Yeah. But that translated really well. I feel like Bundesliga, it goes from the biggest spaces to the tightest spaces, and it just takes a bit of extra time. I have been a little underwhelmed by him, just in terms of his killer instinct. He's not got as much of a killer instinct as I thought, but I'm comparing him obviously to like Haaland and co. And just in terms of like Premier League strikers I've been watching the last couple of years, like the killer instinct has been at the elite level, Salah, Haaland. Yeah, so when your striker comes in and scores 2 goals in 11 or 12 games, it's a bit meh, but I I'm not worried about him, is the best way I can put it. Okay. I hope that he scores 2 or 3. So we got 6 or 7 games now before the end of the season. Hopefully his knee injury is not too bad because he's got the knee injury. But I'm hoping potentially if he comes back, a couple more goals before the end of the year and then another 10 or so goals in all competitions next half. Means he ends the season on 15, 16 goals, which I'll be all right with.
I think as a first season coming into a new league as a striker, I think 16
I think that's perfectly fine. Because the issue we've had last time is Højlund, first season with us, he scored 16 goals, right?
Yeah.
But even people then were like, a bit underwhelming for United. I think we finished. No, we didn't finish third that season.
Forgot about how much you paid for Højlund. That's insane.
72 million.
Crazy.
Yeah,
Crazy.
but we also recouped 45. So it's not actually like but at the end of the day it was a mad signing. But it's because we have goals elsewhere now. This is why I'm not overly worried. And also Šeško doesn't have what Højlund had, where he was the only one.
Yeah.
Højlund was the only one who can play up front because Xerxes was playing out wide, everyone else was playing out wide, no other striker. Now we have Cunha who can play up front. We have Xerxes who might now come into the fold now that Šeško's injured. So Šeško's not starting every game, and I'm happy about that. I'm happy that Šeško's got to fight for his face. He's not starting every game. We've got Cunha who can do a job there. We've got Mbumo out worse who can do a job there. We've got Xerxes who can. So I'm not worried. It's been underwhelming, but I wouldn't say it's an overrated signing or anything.
Okay.
It's just going to take a little bit longer than people would have liked.
Let's also do, while we're on this underrated, overrated chat, let's do underrated and overrated teams of the season. Obviously, Liverpool would be on the side where we've overrated them.
Liverpool massively overrated this season.
Overrated from where we.
Let's get the Premier League table.
Where we left off. And
I was sat here saying to Alex, anything less than a league title is a failure of a season.
100%.
And I back it completely. Although I said the same about Chelsea.
Champions League.
I don't know, retaining the Premier League title.
Share with me this. Let's have a browse. Guys. Send
another overrated team I would put is Fulham. I think they've lost 6 games this season. They've got a pretty decent squad. Last season, where did Fulham finish last season? Fulham finished 11th. Actually, no. Where are they currently?
17th? 15th.
15th. But they're literally at 1 point off relegation. Fulham haven't been great. Newcastle as well. But their summer... Actually, no, you know what? Newcastle I don't think have been overrated because they had such a poor summer. The summer, not they had a poor summer. The summer went so badly for them.
Yeah, the summer did go so badly.
They missed out on their first 3 choice targets.
They still spent a fair amount of money.
But they received a fair amount of money.
They did, but they still spent a fair amount of money and they didn't really improve the squad. Despite losing Alexander Isak, they didn't do anything to actually improve it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Jan Visser is a good signing, but he's not played for them. He hasn't played for them firstly.
Yeah, they signed an injured guy for 40 million.
I actually think that is a good bit of business. I think what they paid for Elanga was 55. Quite a lot of money for Elanga.
And then Voltemada was it like 80 million?
Yeah, he's actually been the best part of their business. They did something else in the summer as well. I can't think what it was. They signed Jacob Ramsey from Villa. I think it was just a bit of an underwhelming summer for Newcastle, despite spending quite a lot of money. Who else? I think
overrated teams.
Overrated.
West Ham in there. They've just been so bad.
They're just crap. They're crap.
Yeah, do you think they're not an overrated team because they just are terrible?
Yeah. I just don't. I mean, obviously I'd love to see them go down. Have we overrated Forest? Maybe we've done that. Time. Have we overrated Forest and the job that Nuno did last season? And we've gone, okay, maybe if Nuno would never got sacked and wanted to leave, yada yada yada, maybe we would have seen them carry on.
I don't know.
I don't think they were ever going to carry on as in the form that they were in. I really don't.
They really dropped off second half of last season. Obviously, first half of last season they were third, weren't they? For third and fourth, they were right in the Champions League spaces up until about January.
Yeah.
And then they massively fell off, and then they finished in the Conference League spots and got lucky with the Crystal Palace stuff.
But they deserved to have Europa.
They deserved the European spot last season.
Supreme Leader says Spurs in the chat. I mean, I wasn't really rating them in the first place.
Spurs finished 17th last season.
Yeah.
What were you really expecting from Tottenham this year?
Top 10.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. And also in the chat as well, I'm asking him as well.
I actually think that we've probably done better than I expected, considering we're playing so terrible. To be 5th in the Premier League is
5th, you're 4 points off second.
I would have taken
after
it
11 games.
And we have absolutely no right to be 4 points off second with the performances that we have put in.
And then there's
wait till
overrated teams like Wolves. Didn't really rate.
Underrated Bournemouth. Underrated them. I mean,
Bournemouth massively
underrated Bournemouth.
Them keeping Semenyo was crazy.
I mean,
but also
we've
the
all
business.
We've underrated Sunderland as well.
Yeah, Sunderland. I would have put at the beginning of the season. I would have said lower to mid-table.
Sunderland, I would have had them in and around
like
12th.
Really?
Yeah.
You saw the summer signings
For Sunderland.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
like before the Premier League season kicked off, were you having them in bottom 4?
But sometimes when you bring in quite a few players, it doesn't always go to plan. I've seen that with so many teams that have come up and down. And I also felt with the signings, Sunderland have, or just any team that comes up, I always naturally think that there's a chance because of the pattern over the last few years that they will go straight back down. I don't want Sunderland to go back down. They are a Barclays era Premier League team, and I'm here for that.
Oh yeah, I want them to stay up.
Here for that so much. I cannot wait for that first Derby. It's just going to be unreal. Like Newcastle, Sunderland back where they both are in the Premier League. Like that is nostalgia. That is iconic.
It's Barclays.
Barclays.
Pure
Screams
Barclays.
it. Screams a better time.
Sunderland massively underrated. Everyone's massively underrated them. Bournemouth, same. Massively underrated. I think massively underrated Iraola. Obviously, Bournemouth's defence got torn apart.
Yeah.
They sold 3 of them, and they basically had a whole new starting 11, and it's like nothing ever happened.
He's
they
a
got
good
better.
manager. He's a very
Iraola's
good manager.
fantastic. Crystal Palace. I'd say it's about par.
Crystal Palace will always be between 9th and 13th.
Yeah,
they're never going
finish.
anywhere.
They're currently 10th.
Well, just tell me where they were last season, just to see.
I think they finished 12th, didn't they?
In the end, 12th.
Yeah, they finished 12th. They finished 12th last season, and then they finished 10th the season before that. I don't know about the season before that and that, but it's like,
they're never going to go down. Then they might never move. The highest they might go is somewhere like 8th.
Yeah.
But that's it.
I think Palace had an amazing season last season.
Unbelievable.
And they are, I would put them as favourites to win the Conference League.
Yeah.
Because the Conference League is, I reckon most Premier League teams should be getting to the semi-finals of the Conference League.
Which would be incredible.
Oh, it'd be awesome for them.
Incredible. Imagine if they do 2 trophies back to back.
And then they'll end up in the Europa League next season. Then they can win that and then get into the Champions League. I might be dreaming a bit far for them.
And you think as well, they are going to lose Mark Gahey.
Yeah.
They are going to lose.
Might lose Mateta as well. He's still trying to sign a new deal. They're going to lose Wharton.
And they've lost Eze. And they've lost Elise over the last few seasons as well. Like, they are going to be rebuilding. They're going to...
Glasner, his contract's up at the end of the season.
I can't believe it's gone that quick. He's a brilliant manager as well.
Glasner's fantastic.
Sorry.
Yeah. I think Crystal Palace rate where they are, properly rated. Everton at 13th, can't really argue it. Like, fair.
No, they've had an alright season.
Had an alright season. Burnley, potentially underrated, even though they're tied on 18th with West Ham.
They're definitely not as bad as I thought they'd be.
They've put in some performances I wouldn't have expected.
Yeah.
Like the Villa game, not the Villa game, the Liverpool game, losing the 97th minute to a penalty.
I know they lost to Arsenal, but they weren't terrible.
And then United at home, we had to beat them with a 97th minute penalty or something as well, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Like Bruno Fernandes. Brighton, mid-table, exactly as you'd expect. United, what do you think? We're level on points with you, 7th place, 11 games in.
I think we're both doing all right. I think we're both, but the level that we both are at, I think we're doing okay.
I think it's about, they were better than United did versus Arsenal. I thought we played great versus Arsenal. I know we lost, but it is what it is. I mean, if you'd have said to me after 11 games, you are like level with 5th, 1 point off 4th, 2 off 3rd, and 4 off 2nd, I'd be like, yeah, cool. Like we've been 2nd twice.
Yeah.
Before half time. Only City have spent more time winning games this season than Man United.
I did not know that.
Yeah. We spent 45% of our minutes in the Premier League winning the game.
Should get a t-shirt with that.
Yeah, I might do.
I think you should.
Second, Man City are at 55.
We don't know how long this is going to go on for, so I think you should.
I might get. I think it's something along the lines of if games ended at 45 minutes, we're second. But if games only had the second half, we'd be 19th.
You truly sound like an Arsenal fan making these.
No, that's just I think it shows how much of a first half team we are.
If all the games were at home, Spurs would be bottom of the league for points.
Yeah, well, that's just a statistical fact. I'm not trying to say that's better or worse than anything. Chelsea 3rd. I put that where they should be. Like, you've just won the Club World Cup. and the Conference League. I think you know they should be aiming for top 4. Arsenal, potentially you could say maybe they were underrated.
Yeah.
Because no one would have thought the manner in which they've started the season has been so consistent compared to everybody else. Like, do you reckon Arsenal... Like, you'd say Arsenal fighting for the title, but being 4 points clear, 11 games in...
They've been where I thought Arsenal would be.
I think they've been better than I thought they'd be.
No, I thought after the summer window they'd be exactly there.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Oh, fair enough.
I expected
And then
them.
Man City?
City have been better than I thought they'd be.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, it's been another great hour with you, Abby. It's been fantastic.
I really look forward to just have more international breaks. I really do.
There's no international break. Well, this international
joking.
break, and then we've got nothing until March.
Nothing until
Premier League football will be
March.
back soon, guys. We're all in this together. But thank you guys so much for watching, as always. Hope you enjoyed and agreed or disagreed with what you said. Let me know in the comments what you thought about what we're talking about. The England squad and all of that. Remember to catch the Nigeria versus Gabon stream tomorrow. There'll be no live at 5, but that will be here on DR Sports for you to watch. And the massive stream, 12-hour stream on Friday. Be sure to, Abby will be part of that. I'll be part of that. All of the boys at DR Sports and AFD will be part of that. And I will see you, therefore, on Friday.
Don't forget, join us on the 14th, Friday the 14th of November. We're going to be doing a 12-hour live stream.
12 hours.
Continuous, right? To raise money for the victims of Hurricane Melissa in Jamaica. There's a lot of people down there been suffering. So come, join us. We're going to raise money. It's going to be chaos.
We are raising money for 12 hours. What we
Jump
got?
around and get
I know
back.
something that you cannot believe. Jamaica, we have a charity stream. You know them way there, man. You know them way there. Come on, fam.
Join us on
You there?
Friday. It's going to be mayhem.